here on the Disney lot, or as Mr. Iger just called it, Walt's house. It's good to have you, Bob. Bob Iger, of course, CEO of Disney, emerging victorious from a slugfest of a proxy fight. You won by substantial margins. But I do wonder, Bob, 31% of shareholders did say they would like to have Peltz on the board. Do you listen in any way differently to that shareholder base? Does it make you think about the things you've done any differently? All right, you won. You won big, but 31% still said, hey, you know what? We'd prefer to have this guy on the board.
Well, this whole process gave the board and some members of management an opportunity to engage with many shareholders, perhaps on an even deeper level, and have a good, honest, candid dialogue where we had an opportunity to describe to shareholders what our priorities are and what our various processes are, including succession. And we had an opportunity to listen to them and hear what was on their minds as well. So I think if anything came of this that's positive is that it did, in fact, increase the engagement that we've had with shareholders, and that's a very good thing.
Yeah. I mean, you spent a lot of time with those shareholders over these last few weeks and months.
Yes.
And I wonder, was there one or two themes in particular that, as you mentioned this, that sort of helped you kind of focus more than you might have previously?
Well, I think what we heard was surprisingly maybe consistent with exactly what our priorities are. Maybe not surprising, by the way. Clearly, shareholders are interested and care very much about succession. It is the board's #1 priority. They've been spending a significant amount of time on that. We have a succession committee that Mark Parker, our chairman, chairs, and James Gorman, who just joined our board, is on. They met 7 times last year. They intend to meet even more this year. They're confident they will choose the right person at the right time, and they have some time to do that. But they're treating it, with a sense of urgency because it is so important. Clearly, shareholders care about that, given what the company's been through these last few years.
Yes.
As you'd expect, they care about what ends up being our top priorities strategically. They want to know about the future of ESPN. They want to know about streaming and how that can be profitable. They care about the quality of our films, and they're very interested in growing our parks and resorts business, where we said we're going to spend $60 billion over the next 10 years.
Right.
Amazing consistency in terms of subject matter and a list of priorities,
and all things we're going to talk about in the time to come here. But
make no mistake, though. I know because you mentioned the 30% a few times. This was decisive in terms of how shareholders voted, as I think a true endorsement of the board and management in the direction we're taking this great company.
Stock went up. The first time he had a proxy fight, the stock went up. Then it came down when Peltz went away. It went up again during this process. He seems to believe in part that he's helpful in terms of getting you guys to focus, or there would be those who say, well, an activist is helpful in getting management to focus, and actually it has a good effect on the stock price. How do you react to that argument?
Well, first, let's talk about the stock price. The stock is up over 40% since the beginning of October. There was a slight bump when he announced his interest in basically the second proxy fight. And then actually the stock drifted down after that. And then it went up when we announced our November earnings.
Yeah, I mean...
he then mentioned a slate and named a slate. It drifted up slightly and then went down again. And then we had our February earnings, which were sensational, and it went up significantly. The market is reacting to how this company is performing. It was not reacting really to the activist fight.
Right, and not the idea, though, that you're going to be even stronger in your communications, even more focused in terms of articulating what it is you're trying to do, and or more focused on it as a result of somebody on your back?
I came back about 16, 17 months ago.
November
and
22.
Immediately established a set of, well, first of all, wanted to stabilize the company because it had been through a tough time. Immediately established a set of strategic priorities with great alignment with the board, actually. And we've been executing against those priorities since early in my second tenure. And I think the results of implementing them, and we're just at the beginning in many respects, but the results are already being felt in a positive way by the company. And I think it's reflected in our performance, particularly in our November earnings and our February earnings. So if you're asking me whether this caused us to have any greater sense of urgency about those priorities or any more focus, no, absolutely not. If anything, it was distracting. It took time when we should be spending our time on those priorities. And one of the things that I feel great about right now today is, put the victory aside, that I can spend all of my time with the management team and the board on executing against those priorities, because they're really important.